Okay. Hello. Why is this? Is it quiet now? Hello? Hello, hello? Yo, what's up, Michael? I don't understand why it sounds like this. Producer, I'm gonna change my mic, okay? So just turn it down, please. Check, check. Okay, sweet. Yeah, good. Sorry, guys. I was just having some technical difficulties with my mic. I don't know why it's so goddamn low. So I had to switch over to my headphones. How's everybody doing? Everybody's good? What's up, Jacob? Michael, Jacob, anybody else that's in here? Yeah, I apologize. It was taking a minute. Price left a failure swing on NQ with prior week. Can it trade back there today or some shorts done for the day? That's a good question. I actually caught the shorts this morning. It was actually kind of nice. What's up, Fox? How are you guys? Amazing. Hey bro, I recently followed you and I love your posts. It's really helped me out. Would you ever make a video on how you find narrative and bias? Yeah, bro. Absolutely. I'm glad my post. Which ones? On Instagram or X? Yeah, what's up? Did you forget about back home? You caught the short? Hell yeah, I caught the short. Insta. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm just letting everybody know I'm live. Da 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 da. And we should be good. Did you forget about back home? How did you catch the short? That is a great question. I got you. Also, Cade, Cadet Sway, I appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words, brother. Let me see. Let me show you guys exactly what I was looking at this morning. So I came into the morning, not a pretty strong bias, honestly. I didn't, obviously, like in the long term, I think, and by long term, I mean very, very short term for other people. But I was expecting lower. Today. So if you open up a chart with both ES and NQ, you can see that I've got my range set up here, which is the overnight session, just 5 to 9. You can see that there was a pretty big divergence, and this is kind of the area that I used for OBs. And so the thing here was at the open, 9:30, came up. NQ actually failed to take the high, whereas ES actually managed to take that high. And so I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. I was looking for the sweep of the high on NQ. We didn't get that, so there must be a reason why, right? Either both assets make a failure swing, which that means it's an environment that I'm not really looking to participate in. But in this particular case, ES actually took that high. And so I'm basically trading NQ via ES, right? Or ES via NQ. So then I just dropped down to a 3. I waited for that sweep to kind of like close back down on the 15-minute chart. As soon as we got a, As soon as we got a closure, we had the sweep. The candle that pierced is this one. Boom. I basically had a limit order short on that candle's opening price. Stop was roughly above that high, and then I just pretty much closed it at that low. That was my trade this morning. So did I miss a good amount of price? I certainly did. I missed around 300 point or 200 points ish. But whatever, it is what it is, right? I'm just trying to keep these accounts pretty consistent. Also, to answer your question, Cadet, I can talk to you about that right now. If you have any questions about it, about how I find narrative and bias, we can kind of walk through that right now if you guys would like. My model printed and I did not take it. Opportunity cost is brutal. It is. That it is. I don't even know why I'm getting close to my mic. Like, I'm not even speaking into the mic. It's coming out of my headphones. Did you forget about back home? Yeah, tell us. Yeah, that'd be great. I got you guys. It's actually really simple, and I know it's going to sound kind of silly at first. So let me walk you guys through that. I pretty much always start on the daily chart whenever I come into the market. And the first set of questions that I ask myself is, or actually the first question that I ask myself is, and this is gonna, bear with me, it will get a little bit more complex, but I ask myself, if I were to take away the time frame here, right? Like, let's take away the time frame here. Ignore the fact that it's a daily chart. If this were a 5-minute chart, without me telling you, or sorry, if this were a 5-minute chart, what would the expectation be here? The expectation is that we're consolidating, right? We failed to continuously take these highs. We failed to take this low. We're still in this range. So I do from premium to discount. And then I basically look for rejections above and below, or I look for rejections within 0.25 and then 0.75. So we're in a trending environment, or how do I achieve my narrative is basically a combination of things. The first thing is a help on the chart. I look at the chart on the daily time frame and I ask myself, if this were a 5-minute chart, what would I be looking for? If we're consolidating on a 5-minute chart, I'm going to look for rejections from 0.75 to 1 and rejections from 0.25 to 0, to the upside and to the downside respectively. The second part of this question is, are we closing above or below imbalances? And what imbalances are we closing above and below? So in this particular case, we did close above that. But more recently, we managed to close below this gap. So the questions you should be asking yourself are basically, are we closing above highs or lows? Are we closing above bearish imbalances or bullish imbalances? And then the third question is premium or discount. Now, There are a couple of rules that I stick to, but I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. These are the questions. And stick with me, stick with me. Number one, if we close above a bullish imbalance, or sorry, a bearish imbalance in premium, that is bullish. If we close below a bullish imbalance in discount, that is bearish. It's pretty much that simple. So I'm constantly looking for what order flow is doing on the daily, and realistically, if this were a 5-minute chart, I would be looking for us to go back. I would be looking for us to go back towards 0.25 of the range, which we already are, or about to be. So I'd be looking for a sweep at this low. Secondly, in a case where a candle sweeps previous daily high and previous daily low, and by the time I get it on the charts, both of those sides have already been swept, I'm not going to look to trade that. That's just that simple. So let me ask you guys this. We have premium and we have discount, right? I'm looking for lower, which means that if I'm looking for lower on the daily time frame, I'm going to look for an hourly sweep or internal level. If I am looking for it lower on the 4-hour time frame, I am going to look for a 15-minute sweep or internal level. So let me reiterate. If I'm looking for lower on the daily time frame, I'm going to look for an hourly sweep or an internal level. If I'm looking for a lower on the 4-hour time frame, I'm going to look for a 15-minute sweep or an internal level. Where? In premium, or an old high. Because we try to position ourselves from higher to lower. So in this particular case, right? Let's take a look here. Let me remove some of these drawings and let me draw the daily candle for you guys so you guys have an idea. So where's midnight? Midnight is right here. That's midnight opening price. Which means that what? If I'm looking for lower, I need to see an open to high and then low, right? Because you guys know, everybody knows what a candlestick looks like, and everybody knows the structure of a candlestick. If on the daily time frame I'm looking for lower, I need to see the formation of an open to high above the midnight opening price, which is very, very simple, right? Now, right here, that's our midnight opening price. We currently don't have an established range. We currently don't have an established range here, right? Like, do you guys count this as an established range from here to here? Because I don't. This isn't an established low. This is an established high, but this is not the low. And the question I always ask myself is, when I'm looking at a high, right? When I'm looking at a high, where did this high come from? What is the price leg that led to this high? Because every high that has ever been created came after a low. And every low that has ever been created came after a high. Does that make sense? So I look for the low that created this high. And it's going to be this one. So this is my currently established range. So I'm going to look for the creation or the distribution of open to high on the daily time frame, and on the hourly chart, I'm going to look for an internal level in a premium market at 709. And as you can see, we tapped perfectly into a premium market at 709, 708, hourly internal, and then at that point, that's when you drop down into your lower time frame, and then that gives you the context to seek lower. And now, what does the daily candlestick look like? It looks like this. That's the opening price. That's what it, hold on. That's the opening price. Oops. That's the high. And that's the low. And that's currently what it looks, the daily candlestick looks like. So whenever you're looking to catch the expansion on a daily move, you should always be looking for the wick to be created within a premium market if you're looking for lower, or within an hourly imbalance, and preferably both of them. When that high, as you're above the opening price, it comes into the internal level at a premium market, you look for the wick to then be created, and then that gives you the context for you to look for a swing. Does that make sense? Or can you do GC if you don't mind? I found it a bit cleaner recently. Yeah, absolutely, I got you. One sec. Here, we have a 4-hour swing, an external level, right? Which means that we're likely to come back into the range because the daily chart is still ranging. When we come back into a range, we have newly established range here. Where are we likely to go? We're likely to go into a premium market. So what am I going to look for? I'm going to look for a retrace back down, hopefully, create the wick from open to low on the new 4-hour candle, and then give us a lower time frame CSD towards a premium market, which would be up here at 652s. And then I would potentially look for a redistribution. The wick on which time frame? On the 4-hour. When you guys, swings are useless. A swing in itself, a swing like this in itself is useless. You need to pair it with a higher time frame level. A higher time frame level can either be an external low, which means an old significant low. In this particular case, it's this one here, which I believe is, no, it's not. I thought it was previous weekly low, but it's previous week intra-week low. So you pair it with this. So you have a key level. You have a sweep of the previous 4-hour low, right? 6 or 10 a.m. swept 6 a.m., which means that on the 2 p.m. candle, I'm looking for the wick to be created, which means I need to look for an open to low and then higher. Where are the wicks likely to be created on the 3rd candle of a swing? It's going to be within the wick of the previous. So this is the area where I would look for the current 4-hour candle to form the wick. Does that make sense? So I would look for 2 p.m. open to come back down, head into the wick of the previous 4-hour candle. And then at this particular point, I grab the established range. You can see that discount aligns perfectly with the wick and the area where I would look for the 4-hour wick to be formed. And so at this particular point in time, I would look for a sweep of a low at a discounted price point, this one here, and then higher. And then obviously after we take out these highs, I'd be looking for lower. But that is my, can I do GC? Yeah, I got you. So on GC, let's take a look. GC, I believe, is still in a downtrend. Now, if I were to ask you guys, hey, if this were a 5-minute chart, what would you be looking for within the next 15 to 20 minutes? Would you say this is going higher? Would you say this is going lower? If this were a 5-minute chart, would you hypothesize that the next 5 minutes would go higher? Or sorry, the next 20 to 30 minutes would go higher or lower? And the reason I frame the question like that is because the concepts are completely fractal, right? Whatever we apply on an hourly chart, on a 15-minute chart, it's applicable on every single time frame. That's the theory. So if you say higher, then that means that you would be looking for a sweep of a low to then lead into the highs. So what do we have here? We have a daily chart, right? We swept out previous daily low, which is exactly what we want to see. If I head over to an hourly chart and I want to seek higher, what do I need to look for? Just to give an example, I don't have an opinion on gold right now. I think it still goes lower, but I could definitely make a case for it going higher. But if I want gold to go higher, what do I need to look for? If on the daily chart I want it to go higher, I need to look for an established range, premium and discount, and then I need to see an imbalance or a low be taken at a discounted price point. So that means I would need to see us come back down here, sweep out the 4,070 low, at a discounted price point, make an hourly CSD, and then continue higher. Does that make sense? Is CSD the same as order block? I use CISD. Well, I say CISD because I feel like it's the term that most people know. I don't use CISD. I use order blocks. For some people, it's the same. For some people, it's not. For me, I would reckon it's a little bit later because when I look for my order blocks, all I'm looking for is, let's say hypothetically, let me draw this out. Bars pattern. Let's say this is a good example. Let's say I'm looking for a sweep of an old high. This is the old high, right? What I do is I grab all of the candles that are responsible for sweeping into that high. So you can see this candle was responsible, this one, or these three. So then I would look for a closure below that candle's low. And that whole object, or those three candles that were piercing that particular price point, becomes my order block. Do you use every order block or do you use discretionary? It needs to be within the context of what I just told you. If I don't have a swing within a higher time frame level, then there's no reason for me to look for an order block. Remember, you need to go in order, right? So first it's your higher time frame. Then it's your mid time frame. Then it's your lower time frame. Without this one, you can't go to this one. And without the mid time frame, you can't go to the lower time frame. It always comes in order, and higher time frame always takes precedence. That's just the truth. If you don't have a proper higher time frame setup, you can't go to your mid time frame. If on your mid time frame you don't have the proper setup, you can't go to your lower time frame. It all comes down to steps, because the best setups and the best moves that you get in the market are when all three of these are aligned perfectly. That's the idea. The idea is that we want to catch the expansion across all three of the time frames, right? At least for me, and at least for us that trade in a similar manner, right? What's up, Forgotten? How are you? Obviously, I can sit here and sometimes scalp the 15-second chart, but that's because if I'm using the 15-second chart, I'm using the 5 and the 15 minute. We are referring to higher time frame as 4 hour or 1 hour. Now that just completely depends, right? You can have multiple setups: higher time frame, mid time frame, lower time frame. Your higher time frame can be your daily, your mid time frame on the daily can be your hourly, and then on the time frame that you execute on is the 5 minute. Now similarly, you can also treat the 4 hour as your higher time frame, which in that particular case your mid time frame would be 15 minute, and then your lower time frame would be the 1 minute. Or you can go one step further, which is, sometimes what I do is 15 minute as my higher time frame. My lower time frame here would be the 3 to the 5, and then my mid time frame would be the 3 to the 5, and then my lower time frame would be the 15 second to execute. But hear me. Stick to daily bias. Stick to daily for bias of your scalp. Yes, I like the daily because I want to be perfectly aligned as to where we're expanding on a daily time frame. But these are basically the time frame pairings that I use. Pretty much. This is all that I use. I don't really change it too much. It's important to note though, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, oblivious. That works as well. It's also a matter of finding your tune, right? It's also a matter of finding the tune. Anyways, I'm looking for a retrace back into a discount of this range, preferably either sweep this low or the 450 low here. Either of these works. Excuse me. And then look to go higher. Thank you. Of course, man. Any questions, let me know. Just let me know anything. I'll be happy to answer anything. I've filtered out, I think, 99% of the bullshit. I've studied a lot of different things and a lot of different concepts, and I didn't even end up using them. And it's not to say that it doesn't work for other people. I will actually never ever shit on how anybody else trades or somebody else's approach. I'm just speaking as to what works with me, what works for me, and how I kind of analyze things. And I think that it's simple and it's helpful, and there's no need to overcomplicate things. Yeah. Did you forget about back home? What's up, Shay? Morning. So yeah, if you guys, again, if you have any other questions, just let me know. Anything that's confusing, because I know it can be a lot to take in, especially when you're analyzing multiple time frames. It can be a lot to take in. That's why some people prefer ranges, right? Or visual cues. I find that visual cues are very, very simple. Yeah, trading's supposed to be simple, not complicated, like 69 shades, SMT, PSP, and other BS. Yeah, I think like as humans, like we just kind of tend to think that like, because if it's a little bit complicated, that means it's more meaningful and it has more of an impact. But at the end of the day, the market only really moves in specific ways. The market is either expanding or consolidating. Those are the two environments that you'll find the market in. If you can learn to classify both of those on the daily time frame, then that should be enough to provide you with your bias for the day. And then all you pretty much need from there is an entry model, and then an entry model just ends up being a pattern. The difference is you want to go from selecting a higher time frame key level, which you think the market can bounce from. Then that's when you drop into your mid time frame, and then you say, hey, I need to look for a swing to be formed on this higher time frame level. Once the swing is formed, then you drop to your lower time frame, and then you confirm with your model entry. Do you adjust your narrative or approach on New York PM or Asia sesh? I feel like I can find my narrative in POIs for New York M, but get stuck on other sessions. I simply avoid different sessions. If you struggle with different sessions, then that's fine. I would say don't even touch them, to be honest. When do you think we will get out of this flag on the daily? I think we'll get out of this flag. What's today? July 7th. I think we're going to get out of this flag towards the end of the month. That's just my opinion. Unless we are, and the reason I say end of month is because NQ loves, and I'm sure you guys know this because we've all been trading NQ for a while. If you have been trading NQ, you know that NQ loves to leave the big move towards the end of the candle, which means that on a daily chart, if we were to hypothetically think about it that way, it would be towards the end of the month, which means that towards the last week of July. But that's with us taking into consideration the fact that there will be no socioeconomic changes or fucking war news, because obviously war news just changes everything, right? But yeah, so I mean, if you're able to differ, hey, am I on a consolidation on the daily, or are we trending on the daily? That basically sets up a good portion of your analysis, because if you can identify that you are on a consolidation on the daily, then you just need to wait for the range extremes, right? If you can identify that you're trending up, then all you need to do is wait for price to go below the opening price of the higher time frame, which is the daily, and then you seek the swing to be formed below the midnight opening price. And if you're in a downtrend, then you're just going to be looking for price to go above the midnight opening price, make a swing, and then come back down, and then you can confirm your lower time frame entry. So it really is that simple. You're either downtrending, uptrending, or consolidating. Those are the three different variations that the market can move in. Do you watch Financial Bureau? No, I don't. I don't. So yeah, that's that. Hopefully that made sense. Did you forget about back home? Also, for tomorrow's quiz, be there or be square, we are going to be giving away, I'm showing off the forearm tats, we are going to be giving away 2 TBT accounts for tomorrow's quiz. So first person to get the answer right, this is going to be during the morning stream. The quiz tomorrow, be sure to stop by. Don't be lame. Did you forget about back home? Every Wednesday, we have a quiz. It's a market quiz. So if you guys get the answers right, then you get an account. First person to get the answer right on every Wednesday during the New York AM stream, we give away those accounts. I'm ready to participate right now. What's tomorrow? Ask me right now. Yeah, but yeah, guys, honestly, the thing that helped me the most with my daily bias, the thing that helped me the most with my daily bias was, oh, can we change the producer? Can we change the title of the stream to how to find daily bias, please? Thank you. The question, what car does Alex have? Year, make, and model. Okay. That'd be hilarious. How many winds have crossed the Atlantic Ocean? Ooh, quick NQ move there. Did it? Oh, snap. Okay. So now this is the area where I would look for a response, right? That'd be fucking crazy work. This is the area where I would look for a response from. So if we can manage to get back into the 480s or the 465s and get a closure above there, then I could potentially be looking for some longs. Yes, BIAS, yes, that's perfect. News drop. What? What do you mean? What are they saying? What are they saying? Iran. It's so funny. Just as I was talking about how we would need to see no um, news in that regard. So now I've got my higher time frame, my mid time frame aligned. So now the only thing I need to see is my lower time frame confirmation. Now, if I don't get the lower time frame confirmation, I simply just don't execute. And that's that. That's business, you know? I'm not going to put my money at risk. I am looking for the absolute best place. Like I need to position myself in a place where if it goes against my direction, I would be fucking shocked. Like I would actually be shocked and surprised after I get my confirmation, right? So now I need to see a closure back above here in the 466s, and if we don't get it, then we just don't execute. And that's basically the business, right? Because why would I want to put myself at financial risk on a setup that's not good or not perfect when I could just wait until tomorrow, right? That's the reality. But if U.S. official Iran's actions on the Strait of Hormuz were wholly unacceptable to the U.S. and will be met with consequences. Okay, well, that's cool. So if I don't get the confirmation, it's simple. I just simply don't execute. Seems like it wants to reject off of a premium market, which means we got a nice little consolidation here in a premium market and is now rejecting. And that's okay, right? Asia gold. Gold, baby. Excuse me. Oh my God. Sorry guys, I'm also a little under the weather. So if my my nose sounds stuffy, it's because of that. Where is the Colombian shirt? It's in my closet. I'll throw it on after. I gotta stay professional. You know this. But if you guys are liking the EPM streams, drop a like, man. Drop a like, share. Make sure to subscribe because it really does help us out. And the more that you guys support the channel, the more we are able to give back to the community. And if you guys want to see a specific trader, come on to the live stream so we can talk to them. Let me know. We'll try to get them on. Love the lab live. Oh, dude, thank you. Appreciate it, Mild. Hello, sir. Are you a base hits trader? Not really. I mean, when I trade my live account, I'm very much like, let's go for the whole fucking sandwich. Obviously, if I just need consistency, then yeah, it'll be base hits. Let me hop on order flow lesson. Thank you, body up. Let me see. I don't know if I followed you back on X. I apologize if I didn't. So as you can see, we're not getting the reactions that I ideally want. I was in your crypto section? Hell yeah. Jokes. How to use it on Instagram? Oh, let me give you a follow back. I just have extra news and I just see all you professionals on there. Also, if you guys would like this, let me show you. One sec. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. If you guys would like something like this, I basically have this for my model. I just have to figure out a way to drop it. It basically includes the flowchart, my rules, my weekly review questions, and then the model itself, and then an example of the model. So if you guys would like something like this, just let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram if you want. I promise you it's not like one of those, oh, DM me model on Instagram, keyword, and then it just activates the salesperson. You DM me business and I'll get back to you. Is it a day trading or scalping? It's a scalping model. DM me. Did you forget about back home? Any tips on actually sticking to a model and rules if that's an issue in itself? Oh man, this is Thank you, producer. This is a great question because it's something that I see a lot. And I used to actually coach people. I didn't really charge. I would just help a lot of people. And here's the truth, right? Like, here's the truth. You're either going to do something wrong for so long that you're just going to get so sick and fucking tired of it that you'll eventually change it. Because here's the thing. If you fail to follow your rules, and I'm going to say here and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't follow all my rules perfectly. I would be fucking lying to you if I told you that, oh yeah, for the last 3 months, I've taken only 3 trades a day. That would be a huge, enormous fucking lie. What I do notice is that it's purely willpower. It's a willpower thing. If you fail to follow your rules, it's because there's a lack of willpower, and it's now become a behavioral thing. It's now become a behavioral thing and a pattern thing in your mind in itself. So here's what I suggest for people that fail to follow their own model or stick to their rules. You need to do everything in your ability to have visual cues either on the chart itself or near your desk. That's step number 1. Have visual cues, right? Because, for example, here I have my range set up here. I have my range somewhere here. Yeah, here it is. My range is pretty much set up here. And my model is, if I don't see a sweep of this range, then I simply can't enter. That's it. I have the visual cue, which means that if I don't see a sweep of this high or a sweep of this low, there's just simply nothing for me to do. That's it. That's that visual cue. Secondly, I would suggest writing out what your problem is on a piece of paper, or you can write it on a Word document, right? Write out what the issue is, and the issue is that you've been having, right? Write down what the issue is. I'm not in this trade, by the way. I'm waiting for confirmation. Write down what the issue is. Is it a recurring problem? If it is a recurring problem, then what do you think you could potentially do to stop it? And then number 4 is, sorry, let me read this actually off my thing itself. Why do I have this problem? What is the solution? And how can I action the solution? So again, for your recurring problems, what is the problem? Why do I have this problem? What is the solution? And how can I action it? When you have all of those 4 answers, and try to answer to the best of your ability, because I know obviously you're not going to know the answer to, how you can action it or what the solution is, but try to have it to the best of your ability. And then every single morning before you take a trade or you hop on your session, read that piece of paper that you've printed with the answer to those questions. Because what happens is that you're now breaking a pattern. You're now breaking that behavioral pattern. Because a lot of the times, especially for me, where my tilt can come from, and I still tilt, this is like, I don't want to say it's inevitable, but it's in my nature, because I'm a person that needs to constantly be working. And so sometimes I definitely do still go on tilt. The difference is that like, I don't really lose a lot of money if I go on tilt, right? But if you still go on tilt or you fail to follow your rules, then you need to have a piece of paper and a visual cue on your chart that you can sit down at your desk, and instead of actually not putting in a plan, because I know the people that go on tilt or fail to follow their rules, it's because they don't actually make a plan every single day. Pick up the piece of paper, read it to yourself out loud, and then continue to trade. Because a lot of the solutions that we think, for trading, it's like, oh, just stop doing it, bro. You want to just stop doing it. And while that may work for certain people, it's very hard to break a behavioral pattern within yourself, especially after it's already taken over your willpower. And that's okay, right? That's completely okay, because it's a part of becoming the trader that you want to be. So I would say, yeah, have visual cues on your chart and be have a piece of paper with what the issues you have are, what you think are the solutions, and then maybe your rules. So then that way, when you wake up every morning and you sit down at your desk and you're about to trade, you pick up that piece of paper, you read it, and then you're slowly already breaking a pattern. You can't break a behavioral pattern like this, like overnight. It can't be done. I can't just like, oh, start following your rules from today to tomorrow, right? When you try to learn to run a marathon, you don't go from running 0 miles to 27 miles in a day. You go from running 0 miles to 1 mile. Then the next week is 0 miles to 3 miles. Then the week after that, it's 5 miles. So you have to do the same thing with breaking your behavioral patterns. If I can follow one rule this week, then maybe I can look to follow another next week. I'm not going to try and follow all my rules at the same exact time, because what's going to end up happening is that you're going to try to end up following all your rules at the same time. It's not going to go well, and then you're going to feel more discouraged. Exactly. Yes. You have to start building slow. Try not to fucking just jump in fully. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give some longs here a try. I like the setup that we got going on here at 23 or 93, 93.75.25, and then my stop will go back down here at the 331s. So we'll see how this goes. 331. Beautiful, beautiful work there. 410s is going to be my break-even spot there. And then I'm just going to look to target the 457s. If we can get back up there, that would be nice. 457s. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, if we can get into the 410s, I think that would be ideal, actually. Give me the 410s and then I'll be able to go break even. That was a really quick reaction, which I really did like. So I'm hoping the next few, or at least the next minute here, gives us a nice little impulse into the highs. Because then at this point, I wouldn't want to see us come back down into the 353s. That would actually suck. Come on, good call. Oh, perfect. So we got the 410s there. Boys, I'm going to go break even here on this trade at the 74s. Beautiful stuff here. Let's see if we can just get a nice little push here. Give us a continuation here. So I'm break even here on this trade. We did take out the 410s, which I did want to see. And then let's see if we actually manage to get a continuation or if this just wants to take us back out. Quick little scalp. Let's see if we get a continuation here. No, she's struggling. She is struggling. Come on. Oh, looks like I might get taken out break even. Oh, yep, that's me break even, boys. So one quick scalp, one break even. We did get a good amount of points here to the upside. But I did like the fact that we took out this high. I wanted to see ideally a continuation above that high, but we did not get it. So break even trade for me here. Quick little scalp. If I go into piss, this was nice. Yeah, no, it happens. Break even trade for me here, boys. Let's see if we get a secondary reaction, and then I might look to re-enter, but I don't like the fact that we're getting below this low, so. We'll see what we do here. I just think it'll drop a bit more before going up. That's fair. That is completely fair, brother. See if they just want to drop it below this 5-minute imbalance, which is what I'm looking for, or what I'm looking out for, sorry. no bullish reaction here. Still failing 308, 7 minutes till the next 15-minute candle, so we're just going to wait patiently here for another confirmation if we're able to get that. Starting to get below this low really, really aggressively, so I'm actually kind of glad we got stopped to break even on that one there. Seems to be wanting going for the 332. There goes the 332, I think. No, not yet. 335. Let's see. Order flow still remains kind of bearish here. I just think well managed. Thanks, Kaskuts. Appreciate that, brother. 309. Next 5-minute candle coming up here in about 30 seconds, so we'll see. Okay. Let's see if we get this closure here at 40s. No. Still going for that 331. Order flow remains pretty bearish here. Pretty good. Would be willing to give this another try. Let's see. All right, let's give this another go here, waiting for this 2-minute closure, 310. No, nothing there. Yeah, order flow remains pretty bearish. I'm trying to catch a reversal here, but I might be trying to catch a knife, so I'm going to stay sidelined and just kind of observe, see what we do here. Looks like I might want to go for those equal lows. So we'll stay put. We'll stay sidelined and we'll just let it do its thing. We'll take our break-even trade. The setup is not perfect, so I'm not too keen. Did you forget about back home? Anyways, hopefully you guys liked today's little lesson. Damn, GC, what's going on? It's dumping? Holy shit. Holy shit. So no major confirmations there apart from that little quick scalp that we got stop break even. It's like that. What's your sizing? Minis, bro. Okay. See if we get a last attempt here. I'm gonna give this a try here. Let's go long from the 338s. 338s. Stop is going to be at the 300 level flat, and then I'm going to look for aim for the 409s. 300's flat here, and then let's see if we get a nice little push here. This will be the last attempt. See if we get a nice little push here at 338. To get that closure above the 1, which I do like. 314, 1 minute left till the next 15-minute candle. So let's see if we get a push here during the last 30 seconds of this candle, or if this just wants to die. Did you forget about back home? And the 15-minute, oof, that's a rough move. New 15-minute candle came out swinging. Let's see if we get stopped here at the 301s. Came out swinging. Still like to set up low at a discounted price point. 4-hour swing still completely valid. But it looks like we might get stopped out on this one, boys. Let's see, previous 15-minute low here now. Yeah, she's just gunning for those lows, it seems like. Should have bought some puts. Damn! And then this will be my last trade for the day. I'll look to call it here after this trade, boys. 315. Anyways, yeah, that's that. Do you do full sizing on 50-second or half? I do pretty small sizing on 15. That's me stopped out, boys, unfortunately. That is me stopped out. At 301, actually, I just got ticked out. 301.25. Just got absolutely ticked out. Well, it looks like she wants to continue lower. Setup was there. Setup was nice. Got the 1 minute confirmation, but unfortunately no continuation there. So wrong side of the market for the PM session. Web trading is so different from what I'm used to sit. I still watching this and think how. No, I get it. I understand completely. Did you forget? Yeah, that's it for me, boys. I think that is it for me. I'm still green on the day, so I don't want to fuck up. Do anything crazy. Yeah, we had that 5 minute swing there confirmed as well. It was actually a nice setup, but unfortunately did not present itself for us today. I might just get a 150K CNN built at trade minis and at the 15 seconds you've completely lost me. Summer PA's dog shit. Yeah, I mean it's not the greatest. I definitely, like, we will not lie, it's definitely not the greatest. But listen, boys, I appreciate all of you for stopping by. Thank you so much. Any other questions, please let me know. Stopped out here, unfortunately, on the PM session, but we will continue tomorrow. So be sure to stop by for tomorrow's show. Be sure to drop a like. Be sure to subscribe. I will see you guys for the AM session. Remember, we're giving away 2 TPT accounts, 50Ks in the morning. Be sure to stop by the quiz. Am I a bit sick? Yes, yeah, I am. Anyways, appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so much. Stay in touch. Any questions, let me know. Peace.